Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited about networking with everybody out there right now. We are live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. We're live today. I'm really excited about being back in the studio. I was gone for a few days there, and so I'm back, and I'm excited about bringing my first guest on. It's going to be on for the hour with me. I have with me Ken Kilday. He's the owner of Leaders Cut. You are a professional certified coach, a business coach.
Yes.
And I want you to tell everybody, first of all, about yourself, but also why it's so important that people understand those words, certified, professional and certified, are very important.
Absolutely. And when you said I was your first guest, I thought you were going to say I was your favorite guest.
Well, you are.
Today, I'm your favorite guest right now. Who's on.
That's funny. Okay.
Okay, so what does it mean? I'm a professional certified coach from the International Coaching Federation. I'm sure your listeners know right now, basically anyone can just call themselves a coach, and a lot of people do. I am certified in it. I had to go through an education course. I have 192 hours of coursework. I had to submit proof that I had coached for 500 hours while I took those courses. And then with my client's approval, of course, I had to submit specific recordings of me coaching so that I could meet the standards of the International Coaching Federation. So it's just a way to say that I have qualified through a rigorous process to call myself a coach.
To me, what makes it important is if I'm going to get a coach, I want somebody who's qualified like you.
Right.
And because that's what really makes the difference.
Exactly. And you know, in my industry, it's not like if you went to a physician, she would have her diploma that she went through medical school. Well, if we're interviewing coaches, we may not have that, but I do have the criteria to show you that I did get my professional certifications. And then we can jump right into, you know, what's going on with your business, what would you like to accomplish. So it saves you a step in terms of knowing that I meet a standard that maybe some others don't yet.
Don't, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you have been here now for quite some time talking to us a little bit about your academy that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about is the people for just 1 second,
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
How many people out there have been like, you know, raring to go, excited about January, right?
Right.
And now it's the end of January already and you're thinking, oh my God, I haven't done the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's for business owners. This is this is who I work with. This is why I love business leaders, is because we got going. We had a lot of ambition. We work really hard. We have a great work ethic, and that's what gets us off the ground. That's what keeps us going. That's what makes us profitable. But it also can get in our way because we let that standard of how we're working dictate what's coming next. In other words, eventually we become a little reactionary to our day, and that will
tell me about that.
Yeah, right. So it's the notion of what got us here won't get us there. So that does get us off the ground. It does create some success, and then it will limit your natural growth, my natural growth. That's why I work with the business leaders I do, because I've been that business leader. You know, kind of two things all at once. When I was in corporate life, I always heard from people that would say I was too much of a nice guy with my teams, right? That it was in the era of you had to be a hard butt. I don't know what we're allowed to say without
That was good.
Okay, hard butt. So you had to be like that or you weren't going to be successful. So I always flipped that around of, hey, you know, if I treated people well and brought them into the culture, they would stay longer and produce more and be more effective. Like they would like being there. And eventually I could prove that with numbers, but that was one of my mentality. And then in the other part of it, it was, hey, you know, if I take just a little bit of time to work on the business instead of in it, I become a more effective business owner. So those are the two premises of my philosophy of coaching. Is what I'm trying to help my leaders do is be a more human leader. In other words, have as much attention as they pay to finding the right client, customer, etc. It's also about finding the right employee that fits, because that will make you more profitable. It will make your life easier, and that person will love working with you and in your ecosystem.
Absolutely. Now, you offer, when you come here, an academy that you have started, I don't know, it's got to be a year ago now.
At least, yeah, a little bit more than that. Every year we come up with a few new things, me and my team, and this is no different. So we will continue to offer the academy at makingthecut.biz, that will still be for listeners of your show. That is free to you. Again, if you go on makingthecut.biz, don't pay for that. Carol's covering that for you if you'll just call in.
And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Now this is not just the academy. You get so much with it. I want you to tell them what they get.
Sure, and if you've never worked with a professional coach before, this is a lot of the material, a lot of the framework that we use to help serve you in your purpose. So this is what I want you to know about all of the material that you're going to see, and coaching in general is, I think of it this way: all humans have 206 bones. I mean, absent illness or injury, that's just how we come. New or infants, we have 206, that doesn't change. However, all 8 billion of us are unique. Even identical twins aren't. So what I'm saying is, what I'm bringing to you is a skeleton. What you're going to do is we're going to put your magic on that, and you're going to have a much more effective, efficient way to do more of what you created when you created that business in the first place.
Now, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the academy free. Now, so when you go up onto his website, which is makingthecut.biz, you'll see a lot there, and you're going to get a lot of that. The academy is not free, but if you call me, you'll get it for free. And we're going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show today for this. And our number here again is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And you're going to love it that you did. I want to talk about quickly the book, because that comes along with it, because you're an author as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the book that you're going to love to get, because it only takes 23 minutes to read.
Exactly.
And that's true, he means exactly. But the thing about it that I love is, and I say this every time that you come on, everything that you do, I always feel like I have Ken right there with me.
Right.
Go ahead.
So a lot of people will ask, why am I giving the information away? Because there's the magic isn't in the structure that I'm providing. It's a way for you to understand what it would be like to work with someone. So as you go through it, you get the information, and if it's exactly what you needed, that's awesome. What I'd like you to imagine is, as you go through the 6 silver bullets you need to grow your business fast, which are the 6 mistakes business owners make, as you go through that, and you read some of the emails that are in my voice, think of it this way: what would it be like to have a coach like me advocating for your business, your goals, your purpose, your mission, your vision every single time we interacted? That's what coaching is.
So again, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the academy for free. Go up onto the website, which is makingthecut.biz, and then you'll see that academy. There is a cost to it, but not if you call me. You'll get it for free. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. When we come back, I want you to talk about this new plan that you have for people. You're going to love this, and I know it's Friday, folks, but you know what? When you're a business owner, it doesn't matter what day it is, especially when you're trying to grow and trying to change and make things better, right?
I chuckle because one of my clients used to say, the great part about Friday was you had 2 more working days before you had to start again.
That's funny. That's great. I love that. And the book is called 6 Silver Bullets to Grow Any Business Fast. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in here. You're going to love it that you did, and you're going to get this academy for free. You get a lot of other stuff as well, which we're going to talk about when we get back. Go to makingthecut.biz. We're still live, so we're going to keep on going.
All right.
Okay. With everything that you get, now that you've got this, now it's like twice as much, right? What should people do? I mean, the business assessment, I feel, would be like number 1.
Right.
I would want to know where I'm at with my business, what you think, right?
Yes, that's exactly what we intended for. And the business assessment is part of my new partnership with Business Made Simple, which is an organization that they have lots of phenomenal content, again, those outlines and frameworks that I can use with my clients that make a lot of sense for them. So this, it's called My Business Report, MBR, My Business Report. It's a way to assess where you are in your business relative to where you'd like to be. You know, it's from the looking glass, right? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So this is a way to design and think about and plan for the business itself. And then, of course, I mentioned to you just before we went on air, we'll say again when we go back on air, but they can get the business report right now. It's free. Just click the button. It's right towards the top of makingthecut.biz. But if they'll call in here, I will also make sure that they can take the talent dynamics profile assessment, which is it's how you uncover their native genius, right? It's, hey, what am I just naturally really good at? Because if you know what you're good at, it starts to help you understand the who you need to do the things that are not your genius.
Okay.
And then third, so that's assess the business, assess your personal leadership genius, and then we get to the third assessment that I use, which is called the positive intelligence saboteur assessment. In other words, how might I get in my own way? What things am I doing without even consciously thinking about it that get in the way of me being a better leader, a better owner, etc. So we use those three things together to craft the customized plan. I mean, that's one of the key reasons to hire a coach is to be customized.
Yeah, in a sense, it has to be.
Right.
Because each person is so different.
Right. Well, and I think sometimes people think that coaching is sort of a one-size-fits-all, but the whole reason I have my own business coach, I have a personal trainer, and I'm a mountain biking coach because I need those things customized for what I'm trying to accomplish.
Makes sense. I remember my daughters, I know this is gonna sound kind of strange because it's not a business, but they are figure skaters. And they were, when they had their coaches, they didn't have just one coach. They had a spin coach, they had a coach that helped them with jumping and all, they did.
Yes, yes, I'm smiling because sports is the exact same way. A golfer has more than one coach. If they want to win championships, that's what it takes.
So welcome back, everyone. And we have our lines open here for everyone to get, this is an academy that you get for free just for calling me. And it comes along with a lot of stuff, so we're going to talk about that. Our number here is 602-277-5369. I want you to tell them, because you just added more, as a matter of fact, to this. So listen up, everyone. This is important.
So Leaders Cut is partnered with Business Made Simple, so we have some additional resources that I can bring my clients. One of them is called My Business Report. It's a way to assess where your business is relative to where you'd like it to be. And it helps create some ideas behind what you could accomplish moving forward. So all you have to do to take that, it's free. You just go to makingthecut.biz. It's right there towards the top of the website. You'll see the Small Business Life Plan logo and the button that says Take the Assessment. You do that, and then you'll get it.
That's like the first step in my way.
Yeah. Where you have to know where you are compared to where you want to go. And I quoted, from the looking glass, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
Exactly.
So let's find out where you'd like to go. And that's step one. Step two, what I shared with Carol while we were on break is that if you'll call into the show, we'll also give you the talent dynamics profile assessment. We evaluate your natural leadership genius. This is just how you come new in the box, what you're gifted at, what you're natural at.
I've taken it.
You have?
Yeah, and it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was to the point.
Unsurprisingly, you're in the right job.
Yeah. Thank you.
So who are you as a leader? Where are your natural gifts? And you, leader, will also then know if you know what you're great at. It will help you choose what to say no to, and that means we get to use your talent to its greatest effect and those around you to their greatest effect. And then the third assessment that we use, again, as part of being a caller into this show, is called the Positive Intelligence Saboteur Assessment. The ways that we sometimes get in our own way without realizing we're getting in our own way. So those three together: assess the business, assess your leadership genius, assess how you're sabotaging yourself, and that gives you a real vision for what you could accomplish, not only with the tools we're providing, but in how you would work with a coach.
But also with everything that comes along with the academy that's on that website that they get
Right.
as well, and there's a ton of stuff there. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to grow your business, if you want to really be at the top of your game,
Mhm.
and that's what you're all about,
Right.
there's people that are good,
Yeah.
and then there's people that are unbelievably good.
Right, and people that are, sports are a great example. And I started with Carol. I have a business coach, right? Great coaches have great coaches. We just do. I have a personal trainer because I have fitness goals that are specific to me, and I have a mountain biking coach because that's something I'm getting better at and really enjoy doing in my free time. So I have coaches to help me be the best. Now, let's say in the gym, I can go online and get all sorts of free workouts, for sure. However, I prefer the ones that are customized specifically for my goals, because then I hit my goals. Each year I measure that, each year I get better. And a key reason that we use assessments and that we give out material is so that we can get to what you're trying to accomplish and customize a plan for you. That's the whole point of working with someone like me.
Go to the website, which is makingthecut.biz, and you're gonna see there is an academy there that costs money. You do not have to pay for it. All you have to do is call me and I will get it to you for free. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You have a niche.
Yes.
And I want you to kind of talk about that part.
Yeah, it came to life organically. When I launched my business, one of my first 3 clients is a dentist. And as the business has grown, I'm now in year 7. And not only have I expanded a lot of the healthcare companies I work with, but dentists in particular. And so we've really thought about, why does that resonate so well with them? For a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a complex business in the sense that there's the dentist herself. She needs dental assistance in the procedures. There's always a hygienist component, there's a front office component, and then there's a back office collection component. And then there's sort of an office managers, because we have to have supplies and such that make the whole thing go around. And that's just off the top of my head. So they understand we've got a complex system here. And the dentists that I'm working with, and those that I look to work with, that I have a lot of success with, sometimes people come out of dental school into the industry and they think they have to go corporate because that's the only way to have, freedom and money and relationships, because they don't know how to start the business. That's where someone like me comes in, where no matter what phase they're in, whether they're in year 1 or year 10, there's a lot that we can do from a business coaching, operating effectiveness, leadership that works really well. So we've had a lot of success in the dental community.
So I just want to also reiterate something here. I know that you work with a lot of other businesses.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work the same way then?
Yeah, I think what a lot of businesses can see right off, they can see how close that is, just like my sports analogies. In their business, they have a front office and a back office, and managing logistics and a people component, and then the professional who delivers the service itself. So they can see how many layers of complexity, and so it works for them, because if we're having success in a dental practice with every layer of complexity, then certainly we can work with some other businesses that maybe only have 3 of those 5 or such.
Well, we really do have them. As I'm sitting here listening to you, thinking about a business, even if you don't have a brick and mortar where people come in and get their teeth cleaned and what have you, you have all of those things. You just don't have them in different rooms.
Right.
They're all really there.
They're all there, right? They're all there, and so if you're a retail store, you're sort of, okay, you're going to get the number of people that show up that day, and that's just the way it's going to be. And for the dentist, it's there's a slight twist to that of, they staff up for whoever has the appointments. Well, if they don't show, then they're just standing there waiting. It's not like they don't do walk-ins, generally speaking, right? So there's just some nuance, some complex nuance in their particular business, which is fun to work with. It's fun to figure out, culturally who they are and how they navigate and grow. And it's really similar.
There's an underlying I wanna say tapestry, like, you know how they weave together,
Yeah.
that all businesses have.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter, again, even if you're a solopreneur like me,
Right.
right? It doesn't really matter, it's, you still got those there, we just talked about it, so everybody really needs it.
Absolutely.
Now, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the Academy for free from me. And what I love too is that you have Ken right there with you. The book is called The 6 Silver Bullets to Grow Any Business Fast, which you're gonna get for free. Also, there's a ton of things that you get as well that are on that, I just can't remember every single one of them right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of resources, so, all the things we've talked about before are still there. But the new one, assess your business, that's where you really wanna start. Start with an assessment of the business. The Academy and such, they're all fantastic resources, but if you've heard us before on the air and you haven't taken, if that seemed like a lot, start with a business assessment, because it's simple, it's fast, it's useful, and you'll have a starting place.
And it's also for free
And
as
it's
well. So you can call me, and to get that Academy, please call in here, you're gonna be so glad that you did. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Now, one of the things that you really wanted to talk about was this new 5 reasons of why somebody should hire a coach. Right?
Yeah, anybody who follows us on Instagram or Facebook, on Leaders Cut Facebook and Instagram pages, or even LinkedIn, what we're talking about is there's 5 reasons to hire a coach. Not everyone understands why they would hire a coach if they're in business. But a lot of times, the first time somebody calls me, I'll say, "Why are you calling me?" And they said, "Because a mentor or somebody that I know is successful in business has a coach." Like they very quickly, they know that part, they just don't know what we do. So one of the first reasons is your plan is customized, right? This is not a cookie cutter frame. In the same sense that I told you, I have a personal trainer that writes all of my workouts. Well, I write the programming designed to the business owner's goal. It's very specific to what your goal is. That's what we're gonna work on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, like that's number 1.
Okay, and number 2?
More accountability. So,
Which is fabulous.
which is fabulous. Actually, and if there's a reason someone's gonna leave before we're, quote, done, if you will, they're not gonna like the accountability loop. And the accountability loop is something that you, leader, set in the initial part. You tell me what we're trying to accomplish, and then I'm gonna be an advocate for you. I'm gonna be a sounding board for you. I will be a safe space for you, but I will ask about the things you said you wanted to accomplish. And for some people, that's just too much. I take away the excuses, if you will.
Well, isn't that wonderful that you do?
Yeah.
That's what you want, is somebody there that's gonna really push you a little bit.
Yes.
The bad word, to be pushed, right? But it's a good thing.
In the right way.
We've got our lines open here for everyone to get the Academy for free from me. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Okay, let me get that. Okay, good. I wanted to say, I said that word push, but I wanted it to be discipline.
Yeah, it is discipline.
That
It's creating the habit of discipline.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you could be, some people are only disciplined for 3 days.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, one of my mentors once said, when we were talking about accountability, it was, he always saw his role as a mentor, if you will, and coach, to be, not only to help people if they're in a hole, not only to keep them from digging further, but to get the shovel out of their hands, so they have a chance to go a different direction. And like I said, the client I lost over accountability, it was because they were just tired of me saying, "Well, yes, but yeah, those are things you told me 100 times. What are we doing about it? You said you were going to do this. Did you do that? Well, no." And then excuse. Well, you can do that by yourself. You don't need a coach to check in on you if you're just not going to make the effort.
Right. I think that if a person is not making an effort, maybe they just like the idea of growing and
Yeah.
getting, I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
to
it was
me,
a checkbox, right? Somebody said, "Get a coach, you'll grow," so they got a coach. But that's not the part of why you grow. It's the change.
So here's my thinking. If I was to go to a doctor or to, let's say, a therapist as a
Yeah.
perfect example, if I don't really get naked and tell them exactly everything and be really upfront and honest about whatever it is, then I'm doing myself a disservice.
Right.
So again, if you're gonna have somebody you're gonna be coaching and they're not doing what your suggestions are, it's their disservice to themselves.
Yeah, and it's not even, because coaching isn't consulting. Consulting is I tell you what to do. Coaching is you tell me what we're gonna do, and I'm telling you how you're playing the game. I don't tell you how to play the game, right? It's that Tom Brady's already a native athlete. I'm telling him how he's moving on the field, and if he adjusted what he's doing, how it would be better.
I said it wrong, so if I
talent.
said if you didn't adjust things,
Right,
right?
yeah, if you're not making
right?
a change, yeah, no change.
No gain, no
Right.
gain.
Yeah, I mean, if it's sort of like, yeah, I can write you all the programming, but if you don't lift the barbell off the ground, you're not gonna get stronger.
Right.
You're just not.
Right, no, it makes no sense, I don't know what, some people, I think it's because, and I'm sure that you can't find that out right away with somebody, because in the beginning, when you start working with somebody, I'm sure they're all gung-ho,
Mhm.
right? But as you're working with them, I'm sure you see some of
Yeah.
those old habits that come back.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure the old habits, and part of it, there's such a paradox, right? To get a business off the ground, it's already vulnerable. It's already a huge amount of our soul that we pour into these businesses. And then I'm working with them, and now that we've gotten to a certain place, we need to make subtle shifts. And I'm not telling them, I'm not telling them anything. They're telling me they want to grow, and I'm like, well, if you want to grow, you've got to decide what you're going to hand off so you can keep growing, right? It's those shifts that they sometimes misinterpret as I'm telling them that what they did is wrong. I'm not at all saying that. I'm saying what got you here won't get you there.
But
It's just the way business goes.
But sometimes people are doing things wrong.
Not sometimes. I mean,
Lots
well,
of times.
but that's an awareness issue, right? So a coach is one of the key things, the key outcomes that a coach drives is evoking some self-awareness. So if there's a turnover issue, then we have to have some time looking in the mirror, right? Maybe people leave because of you. You know, maybe you're the problem. You know, maybe your leadership isn't leadership. Maybe you're in such a hurry to hire, you're hiring everyone that walks in the door instead of really looking for the fit.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly there's moments like that, right? It's the ability that's part of the accountability loop is good feedback.
And the
Actual
accountability. I want to also really, if it's okay with you, talk about how you work with people. Do you call on a daily basis when you're being accountable for,
okay.
How does that work? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
You asked me about that.
okay. I must have put 2 on. That's good. This is a good one. So welcome back, everyone. We are live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. And we are talking right now with Ken Kilday. He's the owner of Leaders Cut. We have our lines open here for everyone to get from me this academy that is free, that when you go up onto his website, you're going to see that there are a lot of things that you're going to get. The academy costs money, but if you call me, you're going to get it for free. So my number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about the 5 reasons why somebody should hire a coach. The second one was about the accountability that you needed. And I just wanted to ask you how you work with somebody. I wanted to let them hear how that looks like.
Sure. For the most, so when I'm working with, I'm launching, for example, a new small business community group. So it'll be group coaching where you can join a group, it's an easier entry point for a lot of the smaller businesses rather than going right to one-on-one coaching. But in both cases, we're gonna have two formal sessions a month, either in group or individual, whichever you have. There's other things that I do, but those are the two that you're asking about. The question is how does accountability work in between? Basically, I use an app called Voxer. It's like a walkie-talkie app, so the client can, the client thinks, oh my gosh, I have to go into this negotiation today. I could, here's what I'm thinking I'm gonna say, and I need a little reminder of what have we been talking about in that effort, and then I would just reply via voice. So it's an alternative instead of texting or emailing, where we can hear each other's tone.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very easy, because you know what, the leaders I work with don't have a lot of extra time. We've talked about that a few times. Nobody has time to burn. So how easy is it to just tap the app on your phone, you send me a quick voice, and then same day I'll reply to you in voice, and you'll have something to go on. And again, it helps people in between the formal sessions where we're really working on very specific things to keep the momentum, right? We will always want to turn the feeling of overwhelm into actual momentum. That's what we're doing in coaching.
I absolutely love it, because guess what? I just said earlier that, I always feel like I have you right there. And that's what that is. I mean, it's right there, and it's fabulous.
Yes.
We've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And you go up onto the website, which is makingthecut.biz, and you're gonna see all the information. You'll see the academy. Yes, it costs money there, but not if you call me. So our number here is 602-277-5369. You're gonna love that you did that.
Yeah, and the academy is a lengthy course. I suggest you start with the business assessment before you jump into the academy. Is 21 different lessons. If you back up from that and get a little higher level, the ebook is 6 specific categories of mistakes that business owners can make. That if they solve whichever one happens to be in their way at the moment, that'll help. But the business assessment is a really
I'm going number one with that. Number one, then the book.
Business.
Then the academy, but you're gonna have it all there with you, so it's not
all
like
in
you.
one place,
Yeah, it's right there.
The academy is, what I'm concerned with is somebody gets in there and that's too much and they close it back
Oh,
down.
don't do that.
Yeah, you don't
No.
wanna, don't worry about the overwhelm. We're gonna get overwhelmed into momentum if you'll simply start with the assessment.
That's what,
and
just I'm gonna say that over and over again. Start with the assessment.
Start with the assessment, it's easy. Makingthecut.biz, it's right there towards the top.
What's the next one that we're gonna talk about?
Yeah, new perspectives, and this is the analogy I was just using on our break of sports coaches, right? Tom Brady never needed to be taught how to play football. That's not the point of coaching. I'm not teaching you how to run your business. I'm offering my perspective on how you actually are and what the outcome is. So the example I used is, if your turnover is really high, let's figure out what role you play in that, because you play some role. Either overtly or covertly, you, the leader, are playing a role in your own turnover. It could be several things. We'd have to diagnose it, but turnover is a pretty common. People issues in general are pretty common for challenges that hit business owners.
I hate to say this, but it really does start with the top, with you.
Sure.
And if you, there's gotta be a reason why certain things happen.
Sure,
And you may not like to admit it,
yeah.
but.
Yeah, once you find the common denominator, then we can change it. And it might be you as the leader, it might be you as a coach, it might be you and your clarity of message, right? This is the whole point of coming to a coach, is to take all that magic and genius in your head and turn that into a process. So a lot of times, entrepreneur leaders in particular, they start off doing everything because they're the only person. And then we have to flex that and grow that delegation muscle so that they can let go of things. They can become a roadblock. And in hiring specifically, there may not be a clear hiring process. There might not be a clear training process. There might be clear leadership and accountability. So that's just one element of things we could work on.
Out of all, like as a percentage, let's say, how many people do you think have set plans for all of this? I think nobody does. I'm going to say it's probably pretty high, because
Yeah,
most people are just like, oh my God, I need to get somebody, and I just need to hire someone for
Sure.
that, and they just bring people in and they don't have any kind of process.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for somebody to have a finite process that's ongoing, which is to say a lot of times the entrepreneur owner in particular, like a corporate leader, that's not one of their issues because there's a whole department that handles that.
Right.
They have other things that get in their way. From the entrepreneur owner's perspective, they never created and stick with an ever-going process. So what I mean by that is there's nothing going on until there's an opening, and then they're starting from a full ground stop. So it feels like a really heavy lift where those of my clients that are just in the sink of, they're kind of always looking for talent, even though they may not need it today. They simply keep relationships just like they would with customers, right? Always keeping a warm list of people that you'd love to be part of your organization, and they just tell them that I'm
A
not
little
looking.
Rolodex.
A little Rolodex, for those that still know what a Rolodex is. They used to have a physical
Sorry,
Rolodex.
I'm so sorry, I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
okay, we know now, it's just the contact app. But anyway, it's keeping people that you'd love to be part of your ecosystem in that back and forth, right? It's the hiring philosophy of, just because you own the business doesn't mean that you're in the catbird seat. Yes, you have the job, but they're gonna be part of your ecosystem, so it goes both ways, right? We are very fortunate to have certain people work with us, and they're fortunate to be part of our ecosystem because of the culture we create, so it's a two-way, right? Everybody can win, and that's one of those perspectives of helping people become aware of why they have problems in the first place.
Start with a business assessment.
Start with a business assessment and turn your overwhelm into some momentum, right? Figure out where you are so you know where you want to go.
I really like that. Turn your overwhelm into momentum. I love that. I do. Gosh, I couldn't even get it out, but I love it. Now, we've only got a couple of minutes, and so if you wanna go and say one more, and then we're gonna, I wanna give out the information again.
Let's finish perspective with
Okay.
this. Tom Brady doesn't need to learn, whoever your favorite players, doesn't need to learn how to play football, but from the sideline, he needs to know where his arm is, so he can start to become aware of what kind of yardage he gets by where the elbow is, where the hand is, and how that feels. That's what coaches do. We help you with the awareness of how you're playing, so you can adjust and play better.
That's what a good coach does.
That's what a good coach does.
Right,
Or a great
because-
coach does.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because let me say that, most people don't even realize, I think that's what you're all about, is not necessarily telling somebody what to do. You already know what to do.
Right.
It's, what can you do with that arm that can make that just a better swing, or what have you?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, in golf lingo, it's, you drive for show and you putt for dough. So the putting coach is helping that player knock a stroke off every chance they can, because that's how you really win the big championships.
We've got our lines open here, and you wanna go up onto his website, which is makingthecut.biz. Start with the assessment, and you're just gonna love that you did, and if you call in here, I'm gonna get that academy for you for free. Our number here is 602-277-5369. It's makingthecut.biz. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay. So the new opportunity, we're on the making better
We
decisions.
just finished perspective, yeah, when we come back, we'll get making better decisions.
Well, I think a
For
lot of
the
people
reasons.
could relate to that,
Yeah,
you know,
yes,
yeah. I mean, I know for me, that would probably be number one, because, you don't know sometimes what the right decision is.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes you know for sure, and then you may not go even with your gut and still make a wrong decision, but a lot of times, you're unsure,
yeah. And
or it might just be not something I'm seeing.
yeah, it's, and the key here is to make a decision. The worst thing you do, so, a good decision and a bad decision are equal, because they're decisions. It's not making a decision
Makes sense.
that is actually most damaging to business leaders and businesses.
So, let's say you're talking about somebody that maybe they need to fire, but they don't fire,
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
okay?
Well, I don't have anyone that can do that right now.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so they keep the
Or hire.
happy employee around.
Okay.
Right? The employee's not happy, nobody's happy. Coworkers aren't happy. And there's just a couple of ways that lands, right? The coworkers get frustrated because why should they do all the work when, Jimmy can't seem to do anything correctly? Well, you don't want to get rid of Jimmy because you can't replace Jimmy right now, but you lose Sally, who's your top performer, because she's tired.
Right.
Like, why should she work that hard? She's picking up the slack. She's sick of it. She knows somebody else will value her work, and they don't tolerate that kind of behavior. So that's one thing that can happen.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's the big worry. And again, that's a timing thing. If you got it, that's not making a decision, and then you end up with an unintended consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I always keep in mind is when I was in corporate, that sometimes things just happen, right? We had a team member, young, had a massive heart attack over the weekend. Like, we all had a gathering Friday. I forgot what we were celebrating, but we all said goodnight. There's no reason you would think this person is in some sort of health risk if he got not come back to work on Monday. So we weren't ready to hire a new person either.
Oh my goodness.
Point being is, this whole idea of, I'm gonna find someone and then get rid of Jimmy, it's a false, you're making a false choice. Because either you're gonna lose Sally, your top performer.
Makes sense.
Or sometimes, bad things happen to good people all the time.
Oh my God. Don't even think about those things, but yeah.
Well, I do, because that's good planning.
It's true. So welcome back, everyone. We've been talking a little bit about, at the break, about decision making.
Yeah, the fourth reason to hire a coach is to make better decisions. And what I shared with Carol is, when it comes to it, and here's the lie we tell ourselves is, I'm afraid I'll make a bad decision. I want to make the right decision, so I make no decision. And no decision is actually the wrong choice, always. Not deciding is the wrong choice, because it always has consequences. And here's what I mean. If you make the right decision, you make the right decision. If you make the, quote, wrong decision, it's because other things came to light after the fact, and then you learn from it, so it's not bad at all. It's,
right.
Now you know a little bit more about critical thinking, and you make better decisions. And that's where coaching comes in, is we're just helping you assess, decide, move on, right? We don't keep going back and worrying the decision. Once we've made it, we keep moving. That's part of that momentum. Part of overwhelm is I have so many things to decide, I decide nothing, and I stall the business. But the example you brought up is, we have a problem employee. We'll call him Jimmy. Sorry to all the Jimmys out there. Jimmy's a PITA, a pain in the butt. He doesn't perform. He's pretty mediocre, right? He's not horrible so much that we fire him, but he's not good so much that we're ever going to promote him. But we don't have anyone to replace him right now, so we keep him on. That's not making a decision. And the reason that becomes a really bad choice is because two or more things could happen. One is Sally, your top performer, has had it with you not making a decision and tolerating this behavior, and she quits. She finds a better opportunity. Because you know what? Your best people are being recruited all the time by somebody else. Just like you're looking for top talent, other people are too, and they're going to find a Sally on a day she had to pick up all the slack for Jimmy, and now you lose Sally and you're stuck with Jimmy. And now you're really in trouble because you weren't prepared to backfill your difficult employee. You sure aren't ready to backfill the best person.
And Jimmy leaves because he likes Sally.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But
Yeah.
anyway, I was just being funny, but I will say this one thing that you mentioned, and say that again how you said it, because I can't, but you were like, boom, 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 this is what we do, what was that, for making the decision, you do this, that, and the other.
Yeah, you take the facts at hand, you make the best decision you can possibly make,
Okay,
and you move on.
you move on, boom,
You
boom,
move on,
boom.
yeah.
And you know what, that is what you like to do, it's like, it's, we do this, we get these things done fast. And that's why, with your
Sure.
book, it's all how to grow any business fast.
Right.
And that's something about you that you like to do. I think you like to get in there, let's find out what's going on, and now we can move on to grow to better things.
Right, well, I've never met a business owner or business leader that wanted to use up more time than necessary. And what we're looking for, especially with decision making, is how might we be using a lot more time than we need to use, right? Because what we're driving to is time has a lot of value to it. So waiting for more information that may never come is just not going to work. I was listening to General Colin Powell, talk about decision making, and the question the interviewer said was something to the nature of, do you make fast decisions? And he said, I make the best decisions possible with the information that I had, and then I move on. And if new information comes available, I'll look at the decision. Otherwise, we keep moving. And it's he was by then Secretary of State, so he was talking about a very long and successful military career and working in the world's diplomatic corps. So he knows a few things about making decisions. But you'll be known, and again, not off the cuff, not without the information. What information do I have? And then move on. And if new stuff comes up, you can review.
You can always
But
make a
that's,
different
right,
decision.
But that's having that clarity and confidence to keep moving. Go ahead.
So I was gonna ask you if you wanna talk about anything more, cause I wanted to go to number 5.
Oh, you can go to number 5.
Yeah. Let's go to number 5.
Yeah, new opportunities. So sometimes it's a matter of, so this is why